Velvine Nungari Kenyatta was born on 13th March 1997. She was the child of Anway Rimo, and by the time of her death, a 24-year-old undergraduate student at Kenyatta University. Velvine was a bubbly, smart, and zealous young lady, described by those who knew her as ambitious and hardworking. Despite the demands of her studies, she understood the importance of financial independence and worked as a waitress at Destiny Gardens and Resort in Ruiru to supplement her pocket money. Welcome to Unprotected by Design. In this series, we tell the stories of women and children whose lives were taken or shattered by violence, and we examine the systems that were meant to protect them but failed. Today, we tell the story of Velvine Nungari. It was at Destiny Gardens during one of her shifts that Velvine met a man named Joseph Murimi. He was a regular at the establishment, a married man who traded in assorted spare parts, and he took a liking to Velvine and asked her out on a date. On Tuesday, 23rd February 2021, Murimi picked Velvine up from Kirigiti near Ruiru. They went to Q West restaurant in Kahawa West for drinks, then moved on to Kijito Greens restaurant on Kamiti Road as the evening continued. Thanks to Velvine's love for Snapchat, she shared photos and short videos of her night out, including images of the drinks she was having and pictures of Murimi himself. These snaps would later become crucial in helping investigators piece together her last movements. At around 7:57 p.m., Velvine called her best friend, Muthoni, using a number her friend did not recognize, and asked her to join them at Kijito Greens. Muthoni declined, saying it was too late, but reminded her to call her once she got home safely. Before hanging up, Velvine told her something strange and unsettling. Ukinikosa, mpige hiyo number mara 150, which loosely translates into, if you can't reach me, call that number 150 times, referring to the unfamiliar number she had used to call. That night, Velvine did not call again. She did not make it home. Her phone went off, something that was completely out of character for her. The following day, Wednesday 24th February 2021, at around 1 p.m., Muthoni received a call from Velvine, asking her to come with another friend and pick her up from Sinot Hotel. It remains unclear how Velvine managed to make that phone call. One theory is that she may have liaised with a hotel worker to help her reach her friends. When the two young women arrived at the hotel, they found Velvine naked, drowsy as if she'd been drugged, and in severe pain. Hotel staff told them that Velvine had checked in the previous night with a man who had frequented the establishment, and that they had found her unconscious on the bed, lying upside down as if she'd been injected with a substance. Her friends immediately called an Uber and rushed her to Kenyatta University Teaching Referral and Research Hospital. There, doctors examined her and found that parts of her spine were broken and she had sustained severe injuries to her private area, including serious pelvic fractures. She was admitted straight into the ICU. For context, the spine is one of the hardest bones to break in the human body. The nature and extent of these injuries were shocking to those who heard about them and difficult to understand. Realizing the gravity of what had happened, her friends left her in the care of the medical team and went to Kiamumbi police station, where they filed a report under OB number 5924. Responding to the report, police arrested Joseph Murimi. They were granted permission by the court to hold him in custody for 5 days before charging him with rape. Despite the seriousness of the allegations, he was released on a cash bail of 100,000 Kenyan shillings. According to later accounts, before her passing, Velvine allegedly told police that she could not remember anything after eating lunch with Murimi, suggesting that something may have happened to her drink or food. Sadly, on 9th March 2021, Velvine succumbed to her injuries while receiving treatment in hospital. On 11th March, pathologist Dr. Kimani conducted an autopsy, which showed that Velvine had suffered compression fractures to her vertebral column and ultimately died after her lungs collapsed. He also collected additional samples for histological and toxicological tests, indicating that further analysis was needed to fully understand what she had been subjected to. Following her death, DCI detectives based in Kamumbi took over the case. On 12th March, they rearrested Murimi and obtained court orders to hold him for 6 more days to allow fresh interrogations and to compile a murder file. Meanwhile, Velvine was laid to rest on 17th March 2021 in a deeply emotional and solemn burial in Sabasaba, Murang'a County, where friends and family remembered her as outgoing, loving, fun, and joyful. Over the days that followed, investigators pieced together more details of what had happened at Sinot Hotel. CCTV footage confirmed that the couple checked into their room at around 9 p.m., where they were seen laughing and holding each other at the reception before collecting their key. A barman told police that he ushered Murimi out of the hotel at around 10:30 p.m. Murimi reportedly told him that he was a married man and could not spend the night away from his matrimonial home, adding that he had left the room unlocked with Velvine inside resting because she was exhausted. As a regular at the hotel, he appeared comfortable sharing these details. However, other hotel workers gave a different account, alleging that they saw Murimi leaving the hotel room the following morning rather than that night. After leaving, he is said to have gone home with Velvine's phone. In his own statement, he maintained that he left about an hour after checking in and denied inflicting any injuries on her. As news of Velvine's death spread, her gruesome demise sparked outrage on mainstream and social media. Kenyans took to X and other platforms calling for justice and a hashtag such as Justice for Vesh, End Rape Culture, and End Femicide KE. Many expressed anger that a young woman could go on a date and end up dead, while the main suspect was first released on a relatively small bail. Even in the midst of national grief and outrage over her death, a significant portion of social media users chose to place the responsibility for what happened to Velvine on Velvine herself, not on the man who raped her, not on the hotel that housed him as a regular, not on a bail system that let him walk for 100,000 Kenya shillings. She was blamed for going out on a date with a married man. She was shamed for being out at night. She was accused of being after his money. Some people, men and women alike, went as far to say as she deserved what happened to her, that she had brought it on herself, that her choices made her responsible for her own rape and death. Let us be very clear about what victim blaming is and what it does. Victim blaming is not an opinion, it is not a counter-narrative, it is not a balance. It is a social mechanism that protects perpetrators by transferring moral responsibility from the person who committed the act of violence onto the person who survived it, or in Velvine's case, did not survive it. It takes the focus off of what Joseph Kenya Murimi did inside that hotel room and redirects it towards what Velvine was wearing, who she was with, what time she went out, and what her motivations were for agreeing to go on a date in the first place. None of those things caused what happened to her. One thing caused what happened to her: Joseph Kenya Murimi. Human rights organizations amplified these calls. The Kenya Human Rights Commission urged the DCI and the Office of the Inspector General to ensure justice was served. The Federation of Women Lawyers condemned the case and in the same period launched a report highlighting the rise in femicide and gender-based violence cases in Kenya. Data from the GBV toll-free line showed that more than 1,000 sexual and gender-based violence cases reported between April 2020 and February 2021, with intimate partners accounting for nearly half and dozens of rape cases documented. Other civil society groups, including Amnesty International and the Center for Rights, Education and Awareness, CREW, also spoke out. CREW noted that countless women and girls across Kenya had become targets of gender-motivated killings, rape, defilement, sexual harassment, and other forms of violence in homes, workplaces, communities, and public spaces. They pointed to data showing that by the end of 2020, cases of violence against women and girls had risen by 64%, a trend echoed by the National Crime Research Center, which reported a 92% increase in GBV cases between January and June 2020 compared to the previous year. Legally, Velvine's case moved slowly through the system. According to public records, Joseph Kinyua Murimi was eventually charged with murder under sections 203 and 204 of the Penal Code. He applied for bail pending trial, arguing that he would comply with all court conditions. In July 2022, the High Court granted him bail of 5 million shillings with a surety of the same amount, holding that there were no compelling reasons to deny his constitutional right to bail and emphasizing that an accused person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. As of 2026, the murder case remains before the Kenyan courts, with no publicly reported conviction or final judgment. Joseph Kinyua Murimi is not serving a prison sentence. The matter is still pending. For Velvine's family and friends, this prolonged process means that years after her death, justice is yet to be seen or done. Velvine Nungari Kinyanjui's story lays bare how intimate partner violence, rape, and femicide intersect with systemic failures. It shows how a young woman can do everything right, share her location with her friends, call when things feel off, seek medical care, report to the police, and still be failed by the very systems meant to protect her. By telling her story, we stand with all those who continue to demand accountability, not only for her case, but for the countless women and girls whose names rarely make the headlines. We send our most sincere condolences to Velvine's family and friends. May she rest in eternal peace. Her name was Velvine Nungari. We say her name. Thank you for joining us today. As always, if this story moved you, share it. The stories that don't make the headlines still deserve to be heard. Until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of one another.